Level 1. The paper that owns you. You are 17. A man in a gray coat knocks on your door before sunrise. He does not ask, he tells. Your name is already on a list. Your family's songbun, your bloodline rank, decided your fate before you ever spoke a word. You pack one bag, 2 shirts, a photo of your mother. Nothing else fits. Your father doesn't say goodbye out loud. He just grips your shoulder for 3 seconds longer than usual. That's how you know he's afraid too. The train north has no windows that open. The air inside is metal, diesel, and fear, all mixed into one smell you'll never forget. You sit next to boys you've never met. Nobody talks. Everyone stares at their own hands. At the station, trucks wait in rows like teeth. You're loaded on like cargo. Nobody counts you by name, only by number. At the base, they shave your head in under a minute. The blade is dull. It pulls more than it cuts. Nobody apologizes. You are handed a uniform 2 sizes too big. The fabric is stiff, cheap, and it itches against your neck like sandpaper. Your boots don't fit. You will march in them for years before anyone issues a new pair. An instructor screams your unit number, not your name. You forget your own name a little more every single day after that. Day 1, you learn the first rule of this world. Obedience is oxygen. Without it, you don't breathe here. You are fed a bowl of thin corn porridge. It's barely warm. You eat it in under 90 seconds because that's all the time they give you. You sleep in a barracks with 40 other boys, packed onto wooden bunks with blankets too thin for the season. The heater doesn't work. Frost forms on the inside of the windows by December. You write letters home. They are read before they're sealed. Some words get crossed out in black ink. Some letters never leave the building at all. You learn to recognize the sound of boots in the hallway at night. It means someone is being taken somewhere for questioning. You learn not to ask who or why or where. A boy in your row cries quietly the first week. Nobody comforts him. Comfort draws attention, and attention here is never a gift. By the end of the first month, you've stopped flinching at the shouting. It's just noise now, background noise, like wind. This is level 1, the bottom of everything. No rank, no real name that matters, no choice in any direction. Just a number, a shaved head, and years ahead of you that you never asked for. You tell yourself, survive this, and something better waits on the other side. You have no idea yet how wrong and how right that hope will turn out to be. Level 2, the breaking field. Basic training is not training. It is breaking on purpose, by design. You wake at 4:30 a.m. to a whistle that feels like it's inside your skull every single morning without exception. You run 6 kilometers before the sun rises, empty stomach, frozen mud sucking at your boots with every step. An instructor walks the line slowly, studying faces like he's hunting for something specific. He stops in front of you. He finds a reason. He always finds one. You are ordered to hold your rifle above your head for 40 minutes straight. Your arms shake within 10. You do not lower them. Lowering them means punishment for your entire squad, not just you. You learn something new here, something that reshapes how you think. Your pain is now shared property. Everyone suffers for one soldier's weakness, and one soldier's strength can save everyone else from suffering too. So you stop being weak, or at least you learn to hide it well enough that it doesn't matter anymore. At night, they teach you slogans before they teach you tactics. You chant them until your throat goes raw and your voice cracks. The marshal is the sun. The nation is his body. You are a single cell in that body, nothing more, nothing separate. You believe it a little. You have to. Belief is easier to carry than doubt, and doubt gets reported. You learn to read faces the way soldiers learn to read terrain. Who was loyal? Who was watching? Who might write your name into tonight's report just to prove their own loyalty? Trust becomes a currency you can no longer afford to spend freely. A recruit from your hometown fails an inspection 3 times in a row. On the 4th week, he simply isn't in formation anymore. Nobody explains where he went. Nobody asks either. You've already learned the second rule by instinct. Questions are dangerous here. Silence is always safer. You learn hand-to-hand combat in the mud, bruises stacking on top of older bruises that never fully heal before new ones form. You learn to strip and reassemble a rifle blindfolded, your fingers memorizing every groove and pin until your hands know the motion better than your mind does. You learn to march for hours in formation so tight that your shoulder brushes the man beside you with every single step. 200 bodies moving as one organism with no individual will left inside it. By the end of level 2, you are thinner, harder. Your hands have calluses that weren't there when autumn started. You've also learned to disappear inside yourself when the shouting starts, retreating somewhere in your own mind where the instructors can't reach you. They are not building soldiers yet, not really. They are erasing the boy you used to be, piece by piece, so a soldier has room to grow in the space he leaves behind.
Level 3. First Post, First Truth. You are assigned to a border unit near the Tumen River, and nothing about it feels like the glory the posters promised. This is a frozen outpost with a leaking roof and a stove that eats more firewood than heat it gives back. Your job sounds simple on paper. Patrol the fence line, watch for defectors, report anything unusual before it becomes a problem. In practice, it means 12-hour shifts in temperatures that crack the skin on your knuckles. It means staring at a river that people risk their lives crossing in both directions for reasons you're never told and never allowed to ask about. One night, deep into your shift, you see movement on the ice. A shape, small, possibly a child, moving low and fast toward the far bank. Your orders are absolute. Shoot on sight. No warning required, no exceptions permitted. You raise your rifle. The scope finds the shape immediately. Your hands do not shake this time. That stillness scares you more than the cold ever could. You fire a warning shot into the air instead of at the shape. The figure vanishes into the tree line within seconds, swallowed by darkness and distance. You never report what actually happened. Your log entry reads, false alarm, animal movement, no further action required. That night, you don't sleep at all. You lie there wondering if that single decision will be the thing that ends you, or the thing that lets you keep calling yourself human. Money starts to matter here in ways it never did back home. Your official salary is almost nothing, barely enough to buy a single bar of soap on the black market that everyone pretends doesn't exist. Officers whisper about gifts from families, desperate for a blind eye turned at exactly the right moment on exactly the right night. You start to understand the real architecture underneath the official one. Everyone here survives on more than their salary. Everyone runs a second economy in the shadows of the first. You haven't touched that world directly yet, but you've watched it operate close enough to feel its pull, and you already know it's only a matter of time before it reaches out and touches you too. A veteran soldier in your unit, older by only 2 years, but hardened by twice that many winters, tells you quietly one night, "Out here, everyone owes someone something. That's how you know you're still alive." You don't fully understand what he means yet. You will. This is level 3. You've stopped being a raw recruit somewhere along this frozen fence line. You've become someone who makes choices that could get you killed or promoted, depending entirely on who happens to be watching when the decision gets made. Level 4. The First Bribe. A sergeant pulls you aside behind the barracks on a gray afternoon that feels no different from any other until it isn't. He doesn't yell this time. He speaks quietly, almost gently. That's somehow worse than shouting would have been. "There's a family," he says, not quite meeting your eyes. "They want to know when the next patrol rotation happens. Just the schedule, nothing more than that." He places a small folded bill in your palm before you can even form an answer, forcing your hand to close around it out of pure reflex. You've never held foreign currency before this exact moment. Chinese yuan. It feels heavier in your hand than paper money should. This is the moment everything shifts, and you know it even as it's happening. Take it, and you're locked into a system that never fully lets you leave again. Refuse, and you risk being reported simply for having been approached, because silence in this world is never treated as neutral. You take it. You tell yourself it's just information, just a schedule written on a piece of paper. Nobody gets hurt by knowing a schedule. You don't ask what happens to the family afterward. You don't ask if they make it across the river. You don't ask anything at all because not asking has already become a survival skill you've mastered without meaning to. Over the following months, this becomes a quiet routine. A folded bill here, a carton of cigarettes there, small favors traded in whispers behind buildings, in dark corners, during the 10 minutes between shift changes when nobody's watching closely enough to notice. You start eating slightly better than the other soldiers around you. Real soap instead of the harsh gray bars issued by the unit. Real batteries for your flashlight instead of the dead ones you used to shake and pray over. Other soldiers notice the shift in you almost immediately. Some resented silently. Some start asking quiet questions about how they might get in too. You learn the third rule of this world, the one that will define everything from here forward. Everyone is compromised in some way. The system doesn't actually run on loyalty. It runs on shared guilt, distributed carefully enough that nobody can afford to expose anyone else without exposing themselves in the same breath. Your sergeant starts trusting you with more responsibility, bigger schedules to leak, bigger secrets to carry, bigger sums of money changing hands in the dark. You are not rich by any measure that matters outside this base. You are not safe by any measure at all, but you are no longer just a number standing frozen at a fence line. You are useful now, and in a world like this one, being useful is the only form of power a low-ranking soldier will ever be offered.